I can hear you patronizing me
No,
right now.
It's not patronizing. It's a secret conversation between your dad and I.
Hold the mic a little closer to your mouth,
Okay.
Maria.
All right.
There you go.
It's all about you are so grown up.
You're a little drunk. We're rolling. This is
Okay.
Take Some Molly with my parents,
right.
Maria and John Smithson.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's time to take some Molly. For all your questions, quandaries, and problems, philosophical queries, she's got you covered. Take some. Molly!
Welcome to Take Some Molly. This is Molly Smithson. Yeah, you can talk into the mic, Mom.
Okay. Hi.
I'm here with two VIPs, I guess you could say, on their anniversary. Can you please introduce yourselves?
I'm John Smithson.
I'm Maria Smithson.
And who are you?
We're your parents.
Wow, thank you. That's the first thing you defined yourselves as. Molly Smithson's parents, not
Yes.
Chloe Smithson's parents, perhaps?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
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 You were really into this earlier, Mom. Now you seem a little
I know.
nervous.
No, I'm not nervous at all.
That's
No.
good.
Go for it, Molly. Ask us.
What are we? Well, we're
anything.
talking about love and marriage today.
Love and Mawwiage.
It's what brings us together.
Mhm. I have
It's
a
your.
lot of strong feelings about love and marriage.
Tell us about them.
Well, I think marriage is an amazing thing if you commit to it and do it right. 27 years. So, okay.
Hold the
I'm gonna
mic
quit
next
right
to your
now.
mouth.
I'm
You're
gonna
not.
quit.
You need
Sorry.
to hold your mouth
Okay.
next to the mic.
All
Mom.
right. So I'm going to stop now and pass it off
Why?
to your dad.
Okay. Pass
Okay,
it off.
Here we go.
That handoff wasn't very smooth. What's your deal?
Too much time. Go. This is
What am I? What am I supposed
Guys,
to
it's
say?
been like 3 minutes. I don't know. Mom started with her thoughts on love and marriage.
So,
I guess your general
tonight
thoughts.
is our 27th anniversary,
Yes, it is.
and you guys are here, thankfully,
Thank
to
you.
celebrate it with us, and we appreciate that. And we dumped the younger kids off earlier.
Not really, though. They're
Well,
not
half
that
of
young
them.
anymore either.
They're not that young. No.
They can handle
You
themselves.
still have to pick up their toys, though.
We're talking about my brother and sister who are
Yes.
10
Nora
and
Hayden.
12.
And we do still have to pick up all of their toys and messes, which, as you get older, is kind of a big deal.
That's one
But
big
we're,
part of
we're
love
getting
and
through
marriage.
it. Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's it's a bigger challenge and a bigger thing you learn to ignore.
toys.
So yes, as you get older as a parent, if you're an old parent, you're just not as organized, and you don't
Yeah.
care as much about
You weren't that
organization.
organized
You
as a
just
young
kinda push it
parent
off.
either.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually have a new joke I'm running about
Exactly.
you guys. I'll go into the.
We cared
Yeah.
about it earlier, though. We cared that we weren't that organized. Now we don't
were
really give a
so
shit.
Organized when you were little,
Mhm.
and then these.
Is
Not-
there a
not
term,
really.
do you think? Is there a term for like PTSD but for getting permission slips? Permission slip traumatic disorder.
Huh.
Sorry to our vets.
Wait,
Much love
right?
to the troops.
Oh.
PSTD, is that it?
Yeah. Permission slip traumatic disorder.
Yeah.
No,
Where
not,
your mom
not if
forgets
you, not if
everything.
you signed them yourselves, Molly.
That's what
I
Chloe
just-
did, not
wait a
me.
minute.
Chloe
Can I
forged
just say,
signatures, not me.
Every mother, every parent that has to go through that backpack every flipping day, after a while, the paper is it overwhelms you.
Yeah.
So, you kind of get to a point with the paperwork and the kids' backpacks where you think it's just the teachers striking back at the parents, and it's this kind of passive aggressive thing, and you quit looking at the paperwork. Sorry, I really have always
It's the
believed
marker of a
that.
true Oregonian. Don't worry about your kids'
Because
education.
Just
Just
in the South, after we lived there for 13 years, I will say they do it much better. The other moms do it much
closer
better.
to the mic.
I didn't do it much better. The other moms do it really, really well. They know that paperwork. They talk about it. They have it down to a science. And I would look at them and be like, what are you talking about? And then I go back and dig it out of my kid's backpack, and there it is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Realize what a failure you were.
Yes. Yes.
She said yes. Neither of my parents are professional comedians.
But we
Ugh.
try.
If they were, I mean, think of how far ahead I would be. I'm
But we
doing this for
gave
Nora and
birth
Hayden.
to
I'm doing this
you.
for your children, so they have a future. I hope you're happy about that. I'm going to Mawwiage. Here's my first question.
All right, I'll take that one.
Most of these were downloaded from Quora, which is a website where you can post any question you want, because nobody submits questions. So submit your questions at mollysmithson.com/takesomolly. Anyways, this is the question. For years, my wife has been making my dinner for me. But I came home last night, and out of the blue, she said I had to make my own dinner. I asked her why, and she just told me she's tired of cooking for me. What should I say?
Was that submitted by Hugh Cole?
That's my grandpa.
Well, let's see. She said go fuck yourself and cook your own dinner. So, well, you can deal with fucking yourself, but cooking your own dinner is very easy. You just figure out what's in the fridge and you put it together and make it.
Yeah,
No
there
problem.
you go, Dad.
Okay, so here's my answer to this. I went ahead and signed up for one of those delivery meal things. a
Hashtag
few
not
months
sponsored.
ago.
This is not an ad.
Not sponsored, so we're not going to say, although they do have the least amount of plastic usage, and everything was recyclable.
Drink
and
the
that's why I
Kool-Aid
picked
more,
it.
Maria.
So
It's the Sun Basket, everyone. Sun Basket.
It is
Sun
Sun
Basket
Basket.
is a cult for
And
moms.
So we did it for a month. And then got busy and weren't going to be home, so we canceled for a few weeks. However, the kids loved it. John loved it. And I drove home. Wait a minute.
My dad is saying no, they didn't love it if you can't hear
The most
it.
important part here is you were working from home. I was driving to work and coming home every night worrying about stopping at the grocery store and figuring out what are we picking up for dinner. Walked into the house, and it was this kind of cute little kit, and I would turn on some groovy music on Pandora and just cook and, have a beer and be happy. And I loved it. And the kids loved it at first, and they started hating it. So we're kind of in a
Just
pause.
like everything.
We're in a pause on that.
But what was this related to cooking your own dinner? You're saying the guy should get a Sun Basket? Yeah.
I'm saying he needs to
step up.
He needs to step up. Yes.
Or just get a Sun
Yes.
Basket subscription.
Step up and
Use
kinda,
Take Some
like,
Molly for 10% off
what?
Sun
Come up with
Basket.
a compromise together. Make it fun. Marriage is fun if you compromise.
No extra.
Okay. They didn't ask for that. Let's hear the
Okay.
next question from Quora.com. How soon after marriage should a couple plan a baby?
Well,
This is a trick question.
this is a totally trick question. So, Molly,
Yes.
when you were conceived, it was, as we joke, our wedding gift from God. It was within a couple of months of our wedding,
Mm-hmm.
after our wedding.
How soon should they plan today?
Should we go ahead and throw out Bill Clinton?
No.
I
think
actually
we
have a joke
should.
about that these days.
So, I was working in campaigns, and it was the first big.
Big.
Okay.
Let Molly tell
Molly
her joke.
pitches it. Go
This
ahead,
is why I'm
Molly.
a stand-up
Here's
comedian.
Molly's joke.
My mom I was conceived the night Bill Clinton came to town. My mom was a 23-year-old intern, and she went out after the event with my dad, and they got too drunk at Aztec Willie's. Bet you thought that I was going to say Bill Clinton is my father, but we all know he aimed his messaging outside the woman's core demographic, if you know what I'm saying. Also, Hillary would have had me killed. Just kidding. We would have gotten great hush money.
So it was actually September 15th, 1992. And it was the day after Bill Clinton was in Portland because it was the Wheels Up party. We had this amazing event for Clinton Gore that year in downtown Portland in
It's
Pioneer
okay. A lot of
Courthouse
them are,
Square.
Dad. They're comedians.
And it was Pioneer Courthouse Square, all these roses falling. It was an unbelievable, massive crowd, so much excitement for what was then a very progressive movement. And the next day, we had done so well. The team took us out and got us drunk and stuck us into cabs to go home. And yes, that is the night that we do believe divine.
And you told me it was a broken condom, baby, but Dad said he didn't use a condom. So what's
there
the
was
actual...
no condom involved. We were
Wow.
Catholic.
So you just lied to me, so I'd use birth control, but guess what? Didn't work.
No, that was not it. No. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's part
No.
of my joke too. I say like father, like daughter.
We were young and married and in love and happy
Okay,
and
so what's your advice to the young couples today in terms of how long they should plan after they get married to have a baby?
okay, so what is our long-term
No. What is
Advice.
your
You
advice?
say your advice,
Okay,
Dad.
what is your advice to couples today in terms of how much time they should plan before they have a baby?
Whew. We have had 4 babies spread out over the whole spread. I really don't think there's any great time. I think it's when you're in love and when you're happy and you want to nurture a family. I'm sorry. I think it's when you want to nurture a family. Okay?
So my advice to you is to plan at least for 12 or 13 years after you get married to have a baby.
Wow.
Oh.
So I'd be 14. I would be Nora.
You would be
now?
14, right? No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
right.
I'm just kidding. Probably 3 years after you get married. It's probably a good time.
Yeah. Or just what's happening in your life.
Exactly.
Like Mom said.
Exactly.
Well, sort of.
Well, not really, because she said it, and it took her like half an hour to say it. So, if you take that half an hour and multiply it by dog years, then you get 3 years.
You know what? If you're ready, just let it happen and let life happen. And if you're not ready and it happens and you're married and you want children, go with it. And that's life.
This message. from
However-
Meryl.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Okay, next question. Do you remember your first petty quarrel with your spouse after getting married? What was the issue and who won?
Define petty.
I think just like stupid fight. I think a British person wrote it. Petty quarrel.
I sort of remember right when we were getting engaged and your dad wanted to go back to watch after New Year's, like more college football games with his buddies. And I was like, wait, no, don't leave me. And he was like, no, I'm going to watch football with my buddies. And I kind of remember that. That's the only petty quarrel that was like juvenile and petty
Yeah.
that I remember.
Dad, do you
I
have
don't
a
know.
different story?
Oh, I think he does.
No,
Do
I
you?
don't have a different story.
No?
I just don't
No
remember.
story.
No story.
No.
All right. Well,
Move on.
bummer of a question.
I don't remember a petty quarrel.
Petty quarrel. We've had so many quarrels. Like,
Ours
come
was
on.
So much
So,
more, so much more
so
important.
many have
This
been
family
petty.
only has
Come
important
on.
quarrels.
They have been. They absolutely have been. Right?
Yeah. What routines can a couple have that strengthen their marriage?
This one is easy for me.
Hold it up. Oh,
Your dad always, when he leaves the house or left for work or anything, came in. If we were all in bed and, you know, you kids would sometimes be snuggled in bed with us or in each of your own rooms or whatever, would always kiss us on the head, tuck a blanket around and kiss and say goodbye, I'll see you later, because he was always having to travel and be at work. And your dad has and that has always been something
Mm-hmm.
he has done that has always been
Very sweet.
amazingly precious.
Mm-hmm. What were you going to answer before, Dad? Give him the mic.
Routines, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that was one of them. I think the other routines that we did that were just solid were having dinner every night if we could, when we were all home. Being able to, get things together in the morning, be ready over the
was
weekend.
That a routine, though?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what those things are, if they're qualified as what the success factors were, but yeah, just being cognizant of what was going on in everybody else's life.
Very true. Good advice. Sweet answers. What's your number one piece of advice you'd give to newlyweds?
Just learn how to say yes, dear, and I'm sorry.
Take a deep breath and try to make the other person laugh and yourself laugh, and hold humor, absolutely as much humor you can in your entire life and everything you go through and the mistakes you make, and just make everything funny.
What are some of the small, unexpected joys of being married?
Just, I think one of the biggest things is being able to count on each other. Being able to wake up in the morning and realize that, she's there and she cares about you and I care about her. And no matter what goes on, and whether it's a petty quarrel or a bigger quarrel, that tomorrow will be fine and we can ride through it. And the kids are going to be good. They're flexible. They're resilient. And as time goes on, they make their own podcasts, and then they realize what life is really all about.
I say this with all honesty. I wake up every day and look at him and I'm like, he is the most handsome man I've ever seen in my entire world. So he can't ever look bad, which kind of frustrates me. It kind of pisses me off. It's like, I get up and I'm like, dragging, aging, whatever. He always looks the same and always looks amazingly handsome. And my thing I wake up with every day is I look at him and I have the same feeling I did the first time I looked in his eyes. And it's the most handsome man in the world is so connected to me and so wonderful, and my best friend and all of that. And I get that every single day. And
So
I'm pretty
sweet.
damn lucky.
And don't worry, guys, my dad's pretty smart, too.
He is. He is smart.
Oh, well, how sweet. Aren't you glad I did this for you for your anniversary?
Yes.
Aren't I better
Yes,
than Chloe
we
and all the
are.
other kids?
We are, Molly.
What should a couple experience together before getting married?
Sex.
Do you want to say that a little? I don't know if that picked up.
Sex.
Yeah.
Pretty much that is the key. If you're gonna make it, then you're gonna make it.
You know what's great about him saying this is obviously he chose me. And so it wasn't like that didn't happen before. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
They don't know how to listen to
so,
this.
but I know we're all moving through new generational norms. So I would say that is flattering, and I would say absolutely sex. But at the same time, I also think it's important to see your spouse's family, everything. No, they're like their ups and downs. Like, don't jump into something without really knowing. Trying to look around the perimeter of a person, but at the same time being as accepting as you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a wide one. That's a
Mhm.
very wide question.
Mhm.
But I'm proud of you for asking
Personally, I think camping trip.
There you
that. Yes,
I
camping
was thinking smaller
trips.
scale. I guess you guys all
Yes.
sex-minded. Oh, I wonder where
Sex
Molly
and
gets it
family.
Actually, you
from.
know what would be a really good what would be a really good thing, and it was a kind of a harbinger for me with your dad, was when we were first dating and I was living with your Aunt Trish down in the house on Patterson, and I wanted a Christmas tree, and your dad, I got a big Christmas tree and I had a stand for it that was kind of old and crappy, and your dad was like, "Okay, I got to put this tree together for you." And I said to him, "Here's the deal. You can't say any 4-letter words when you're trying to pound the bottom of that Christmas tree stand in, because Christmas needs to be a happy time. And there's no negatives with dad screaming and saying bad letter words when they
Were you
pound in.
projecting a little there?
Just
or-
a little." And so he was so sweet. He kind of looked at me and he was like, "I love you, but I'm taking this tree outside so I can get the Christmas tree stand in."
Aw.
And it was a very cute moment.
Mhm. So cute.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my final question. Submitted anonymously. I don't know. Finally, who's your favorite child?
Oh, seriously. All right, here we go. Favorite child, Cosmo.
My favorite child is Opie Cunningham.
No, I think our favorite child
answers.
is Cosmo.
Ugh, he licks
He-
everyone.
I know,
He's a
that's
creep.
the point.
He's the pedophile you're going to protect. Well, this has been another exciting episode of Take Some Molly. We're done, guys. That's it. I mean, I guess you can keep talking if you want, but no one's listening
Well, I
after
wanna
this.
keep talking. I could talk forever. I have so
I know,
many
isn't
other
it fun?
questions that I would
What
have
would
you
you-
ask.
Okay, then ask yourself the questions, Mom.
Okay.
Okay. Good night, everyone. This has been Molly Smithson. Bye. Oh, wait. Make sure to give me as much love and approval as my parents obviously did as a child by following me at Molly Golightly on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my website is mollygolightly.com or mollysmithson.com. That's Molly Golightly, MOLLIGOLIGHTLY. Bye.